welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a look based on this baby, the Warrior 3 palette by Juvia's Place. I just recently got it and I'm super excited because let's back up a little bit because I actually have both Warrior 1 and 2 as well. So I actually got this in a bundle deal from Juvia's Place and I'm super excited to use all of them. And I just wanted to kind of talk about each one. The packaging kind of matches each palette, as you'll see in just a second. So here's the first Warrior palette. Like I said, on the outside, it's a lot of brown neutrals and it just looks like very gold. So when you open up the palette, as you can see, I've used it a little bit. But when you open up the palette, again, browns, neutrals, and golds. There's 9 different colors in this palette. And out of the 9, 6 of them are shimmers and 3 are mattes. So that's something that you can look at. Diving into the second palette, like I said, these are more neutrals and the outside packaging looks more orange and red a little bit. And they don't really look like there's any golds on it. As you can see, compared to this one, this is more gold on the outside, more highlighters looking. This one has more look matte kind of looking things. So as you can see, this reflects that. This basically looks like you can make this look with this girl. Make this girl's look with these colors. 9 colors come in this one as well. All of them are mattes. And as you can see, they're more based off of reds, oranges, still kind of neutrals, but they're throwing in a little more darker colors and a little more reds and clay looking colors as well. So with those 2 palettes, I kind of like both of them. I'm glad that they both come together because I feel like if you can make a look with these separately, but you could also combine them and make a bomb look, because I actually have before. And I like the way that they can stand alone, but they complement each other very, very well. It's amazing to me. And then we have this beautiful baby. And as you can see, like I said, the packaging matches. So this baby here, she is very colorful, has all types of colors inside of her, and same thing here. Inside, the colors really don't match the other 2 palettes, and I think that's amazing because I'm glad that they gave us something that kind of matches together, while this one is very bold, like on its own. And the colors, you can do looks with just this one, but you could also do looks, combine this with other looks that they have. So I love this one. This one comes with 2 shimmers and 7 mattes. So I'm super excited to dive into this one. We're gonna get into this look today with this palette, all right? All right, so to start this look off, I am going to prime my eyes with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. I'm really just gonna lay that on my lid. It's kind of running out, so I've just been using the very last little bit of it. But I really just, to prime my eye, I kind of just put it on my lid a little bit. With me, like my eyebrows are already done, and that's the color that I want underneath my brow. I don't want this to go all the way up to my brow. And as you all may know, I am not a full face person, not really. So when putting on my concealer, I try to keep it under wraps, really. Like I see a lot of people who put their concealer on, they cover up their entire eyelid, they cover up the bridge of their nose, they cover up all this side because they plan on doing a full face after that. And that's just not me. So since I only do my eyes, I try to be very careful with the amount of concealer that I try to put on my eye. But that's just me. If you're gonna do a full face, prime your eye the way you wanna prime your eye. So I basically start off like this, and I get one of these flat brushes. This is one of my favorite brushes to use for my eye priming. It also, even though it's flat, it kind of has a little bit of body in the brush. So what I do to prime, I kind of just lay it down, and sometimes I'll spread it like so. And then when we start getting closer to the edges, then I'll just start dabbing. So that way the edges are not as harsh. Just in case so it kind of matches the color when it goes, and you'll see once I start putting on my colors, because normally I put lighter colors close to my brow bone, it's not as harsh and it's still doing it very evenly. And if it doesn't then we just add a little bit more, but normally I don't really have to. And as you can see, I have pretty big lids, so I can do a lot of color with them. So I try to make sure that I prime as much of that as possible, since I was blessed with them. So normally when I do super colorful looks, I don't set my concealer just because I want the I just wait for it to get tacky, because I feel like most pigments will just pop on top of the tacky concealer. So as you can see, I got a little bit underneath there. We'll fix that, and here we go. Yes, all right. So we got our concealer on, and that's how our eyes are looking. All right, so I'm not really sure how I'm gonna start off my look, or what I want this look to look like. So we're just gonna go ahead and just let the color speak to us. So I'm gonna grab a little bit from Candace, which is this purple shade in the middle. Dab a little bit of that onto a blending brush, and I'm just going to start in the corner and kind of just drag that using circular motions. A combination of circular motions and windshield wiper motions to kind of put that on. As you can see, I literally took a couple dabs, so the colors are super pigmented, like like that. Oh, wow. As you can see, I'm taking that little bit of color and just dragging it across my lids, making it a lot lighter because I'm not using that much. So yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm kind of starting off with like circular motions in the corner and then just dragging it lightly just to see how it's applied. And then I'll just add a little bit more each time. So from here, I'm going to add this color Fenty right above to kind of blend it out, literally right on top of the edges of the purple to try to help blend that out a little bit. Even though the colors are very pigmented, I'm getting the really good blending effect from this because I feel like I can go back and add more pigment later on. All right, I like this a lot. It's coming out very nicely so far. I don't know why this one came out a little bit higher than this one, but we're gonna let that ride. All right. Using that brush, I like that. So since we've already done that, I want to go ahead and kind of top off my brow bone with this yellow shade at the top. And as you can see, some of these names are kind of hard to pronounce. This one, I'm gonna say it's I don't want to butcher it, so I'm sorry if I do, but I think it's Nzinga or Zinga. Maybe the N is silent, I'm not really sure, but we're gonna go in with that yellow shade with, I'm trying to figure out what brushes I want to use. We'll try this brush at the top since it's pretty close to my brow bone. And we'll try to blend that out with that pink. So literally I'm gonna just line my brow bone with it. Like so. So that way it comes really opaque because it is a yellow. And I'm literally lining my entire brow bone with it, and then I'm gonna go back and kind of like blend it out. But I'm also kind of overlaying the yellow on top of some of the pink that I put down, since this is not a blending brush, and I don't want the yellow to be a very prominent color in this blend. I just want it to kind of be right at the brow bone, like you know there's a color there, but it's not super bright and super like in your face. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and like I said, I'm putting it all along my entire brow bone, because we're gonna fill that whole thing up with color, and then I'm putting it on top of some of the pink that I left out to kind of help with the blending. And as you can see, it's kind of overlaying it. It's looking actually pretty good. Like I said, I'm not sure where we're going with this look, but wherever we're going, it's looking like it's a pretty good journey so far. So I'm not too worried about it here. Yeah, so I'm liking where that is going. Now we're gonna go back with the brush that we applied the pink with. And like I said, we're gonna buff out that harsh line kind of the pink and the yellow. And bring that pink a little bit more down than what it was before to help that blend with that purple. And as you can see, the purple is kind of fading away. Not really, but we're gonna fix that, because this is definitely gonna be a cut crease look, because I've literally been obsessed with cut creases. I basically found a better brush to start doing my cut creases with, and I am a perfectionist. So since I have been able to find that brush, I've been able to do more finer cut creases. And with Juvia's Place, it's so easy to apply a cut crease with and without concealer. Honestly, I've actually used, I've done cut creases without concealer multiple times using this brand's palettes. So I think it's amazing. So going back with the brush, the blending brush that I applied with the purple, I don't want to darken the purple just yet, because I want that to be an effect to help deepen my cut crease. So I'm just gonna go back in with nothing on the brush except whatever purple residue is left, and I'm gonna kind of blend that up with that pink. So that way we didn't lose that purple. The purple pigment isn't going anywhere, but it's also not getting any harsher to help with that blending effect. All right, we're gonna go in with this baby. And I'm gonna dip into that purple and go right along my crease. And I'm using a windshield wiper motion with that one. I'm actually gonna go kind of inside of my outer corner as well, just to drag out some of that color. I might have put a little bit too much on this brush, really, for being honest here, but it is fine because we're gonna make it work. So now I learned from my mistakes, there's like nothing on this brush. So let's go ahead and do that sweeping windshield wiper motion. And I'm literally, it works for me to do this just because I can like feel like it's literally going right in the middle of my crease. Like I can feel right above my eye, so that's where I'm allowing the brush to go. And then I'm bringing that into my inner corner as well. We're gonna cut that, but just to help with the blending and how the look looks. This one is much more harsh. A lot more pigment on this one than I did on this one. I'm gonna try to fix that, make them more even. Going back with that brush that we originally applied the purple with still no additional pigment, and I'm just gonna try to use a combination of sweeping and circular motions to kind of blend that upward and out. Okay, so actually I am, like as you can see, it's kind of blended, but I feel like right here in this part, there's like no color, and I don't like that. So I'm literally gonna take this, dip it in the purple shade Candice once, and bring a little sweep of extra color to kind of fill that in a little bit, so that way it doesn't look as naked, I'll say. And yeah, it's kind of filling that color in a lot more. Doing that, going back with this brush in the same color. I want it to be, like I said, I want it to be more pigmented down and dark. So I'm gonna go back and add a darker shade of, like, well, not darker shade of purple, of course. I'm gonna add it more harshly right there to help us. And honestly, it takes patience for blending. So now that we have gotten that, I'm gonna go back through, blend that out a little bit more with no additional color. And I'm gonna bring this pink back, try to soften that up a bit, soften these harsh lines up. I didn't add anything to this one. I literally am just using whatever is left to help blend, like I said. Now going back with the smaller brush, I'm gonna try to help blend that up and out. I think I like how this is turning out. All right, so like I said, I'm a perfectionist and I feel like these really aren't, the yellows aren't really lining up. So I'm gonna go back and fill this one up with a little bit more yellow right here. This one looked like it was working. This one looked like I needed a little bit more TLC on it. So again, we're gonna blend this out with this pink. Like I said, I'm not adding any more color to this. I'm just helping blend with whatever's left on the brush. And doing that, it buffed it out, but I feel like the pink is getting a little bit more lost than I want it to. So I'm gonna add a little sweep. I literally swept it. I'm gonna show you guys. I literally swept it once and then twice on each side because this is kind of a flat brush. And yeah, just going back in where I was. As you can see, that pink is popping through, and then I'm just gonna bring that color down to help blend it with that purple. And now I feel like we have a great ombre effect going on here. Okay. All right. One more time with, I did dip this. One more time with this just to try to create that dark effect, because I am notorious for trying to create that depth in my cut crease and then cutting my crease way too high and you can barely see it. So I'm gonna try to bring that depth a little bit. Great. Now, using this super small flat brush, like really kind of tiny, I am going to take my Pro Concealer again, and I'm gonna cut my crease. Now this probably is going to take a while. Well, not really a while, but to get your crease cut perfectly, it's probably gonna take a little bit. What I end up doing is, because this has its own brush at the top, as you can see, I kind of squeeze up a little bit at the top, and then I use that and I dab my brush onto there. And I start by swiping it just to make sure that I'm not starting off with a big glob. So I just swipe it on my eyelid, and then I go and I start to cut my crease. Some people do a full cut crease to where you go all the way back down. I'm not gonna do that today because I've already applied this purple color here. So I'm just gonna help let that blend, and I let it dry. And we're gonna go ahead and do the other eye. So now it looks more like a slanted. I like my cut creases to be slanted. And yeah, so I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna buff out the ends. That like, it kind of blends it out a little bit better when you do it that way. Yeah. Makes it so much easier. And like I said, just let that dry. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go back with this because it's the color we originally applied. And I'm gonna kind of buff that out as well like this to add extra oomph to that darker purple that we already, well, not darker, but purple that we already put in there. And then I'm actually gonna dip it to bring a little bit more pigment into that corner. And then for my next color, I'm gonna use the bottom of my blending brush, and it has this at the end of it. It's actually kind of a blending buffer. And I'm gonna go back in with the Fancy color, which is the pink color. Just blend that out a little bit. I do want that pink to pop. Because we're layering, or because I'm layering, normally how I layer is from outer to inner, and then once we get the inner, I go back and fix everything with going inner to outer. So now I have this. So I'm gonna go in with Gola, which is this color, Gola. And I'm just gonna see how that ends up looking. I'm gonna use this brush, and I'm just gonna use that in that color just to see how it looks beside that pink, because I'm not entirely sure if I want to just let the blue be the highlight all by itself, or if I want to add a little shimmer as well to that color to the look. So we'll see. I'm just get as close to the top on this because it is part of the cut crease. So this is looking all right, but one of my signatures that I freaking love to do is put blue on the bottom of my looks, like as an eyeliner or just a bottom shadow. And this is a beautiful blue, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I don't want it to be in any part of this look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the blue to the entire lid as the base for the glitter that I'm gonna put on the lid. It doesn't have to be perfect because, like I said, I'm putting that glitter on top of the lid, so I didn't actually take it all the way up because, like I said, this is a flat brush and it really isn't meant for this. And then the next brush, I'm gonna take this brush, love it to death. It is one of the best brushes I ever used to put anything on my lid. And we're gonna go in with the color Congo. This color right here. Go in with the Congo. And I'm super excited to use Congo. Looks very pretty. Ooh, I don't even know if I needed this blue. But just putting that on just a little bit right there, that is just, wow, it looks beautiful. That is a beautiful color, oh my goodness. I'm gonna actually apply it a little bit over the pink to help with the blending that I'm gonna do when I go back with that pink. But wow, this color is beautiful, baby, what? And like I said, I don't think that I really needed to base it with the blue, but doing so I don't know if it helped or hindered it, honestly. I don't think it helped it really. I mean, it could have helped add the blue effect, but I don't think it hindered it either because this color on its own, it's Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place always has beautiful, really pigmented colors, especially when it comes to shimmers. I think that's one of the things really known for. Their mattes are, of course, always super pigmented, but their shimmers, you really don't need a primer for, like sometimes you need primer for shimmers, or some shimmers you need to like make your brush wet first. I don't think that this is a company where you really have to do that because their shimmers always come out so shimmery. And I know, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, that sometimes I don't even cut my crease with concealer. I just go in with it and like cut it. I use this brush when I do it, and I actually do it normally with shimmers because I like shimmers to come through and like add that pop to the look. Like it's doing right now. Wow, this is just so pretty. Like, oh my goodness, it just looks amazing. All right, so now going back with the brush that we applied Fenty with, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. And just fan it. It's coming back a little more pigmented, girl. There we go. Just go back on top of that and blend that on top. Let it run into the purple as well, because we're gonna go back with that purple. So I'm gonna actually kind of bring it out into the purple and bring it up into that blue. And that is looking fantastic. All right. I'm gonna do a quick sweep over the cut crease. I'm gonna add some more purple. I'm gonna start in the inner corner because of course it's pigmented, very dark, and then I'm gonna take that and sweep up over it to again help with the depth in that little area. I think it's doing a fine job. Sweep that a little bit over my crease. Same thing on the other side, girl. Yes, baby. Okay, this is looking fantastic. And yes, we are looking great right now. All right, so after cleaning up my underneath my eye with a Q-tip, I might add some Karama just in the corners. I don't really know what this color is gonna look. It's kind of dark, but it looks like a dark like charcoal blue. So I'm gonna just try it anyway to see what it looks like, and just add a little oomph, because I did bring, like I said, I normally like to put things in the corner, and since I want to create a tutorial using only this palette, that'll just be my corner piece. So this is me applying that color on a really tiny brush in the corner of my lid, or the corner of my eye, excuse me. It doesn't really look that different compared to the shimmery blue I put in there. Like, it's not really popping, but I mean, it's not like it doesn't complement, so can't complain. And it was just an experiment. And now I'm going to take this slanted brush, and I'm gonna put Gola, which is that light blue color that we were talking about earlier, onto the brush. Let me tap some of that off, it's a lot. And just bring that underneath my lash line. It's all right. It's not popping like I thought it would, but I think it's because Congo is such a strong, bold color. Looks fine, but it's not popping the way it normally does when I do this. So because this is how this turned out, I'm gonna take this small brush and I'm gonna add some more Candice to help blend that out. So coming from my corner, I'm just going to add that underneath, combined with Gola. Blend that out just like that. It's not as harsh. Same thing on the other side. I'm not adding too much because, as we know, Candice is a very bold color. Very, very, very bold. So if you put too much, you know she's gonna come with a vengeance. And she's dark, so we don't want to darken up the look. And then going back with this brush, nothing on it, I'm just gonna help blend that out with that pink, just to add the gradation. Actually, I am gonna add some pink on there. Looks like it's not doing anything. Add a little bit of that. Same thing on the other side. Okay, so this is what my eyes are looking like right now. I'm gonna go back and, like I said, I'm a perfectionist. You don't have to do this. I'm gonna go back and fix this. Look a little bit more even. There we go. And this is the finished eye look. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my lashes because we all know, ladies, that lashes change up the game. This is my favorite set of lashes. One of my favorite sets of lashes. It is INV, the 3D collection in Chic 3D in KPE I13. It's one of my favorite pairs of lashes. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply these off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back, put on my lashes, and once I put on my lashes, since they did kind of add like a darker contrast at the top, I went ahead and added a little bit more blue. I don't know if y'all can tell really from the video. I also added a little bit of highlights, and the highlight that I like to use is the Juvia's Place highlighter, the Tribe Highlighter Volume 2. Mine's pretty broken, so I'm not going to show you guys that. But yeah, here is how the highlighter is on me. I put it on my chin, above my Cupid's bow, on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and then of course my cheekbones. Like I said, I'm not a full face person. You can still see my freckles. Sometimes I don't even put it on my nose because it kind of covers the freckles that are on my nose, but I did today just to complete the look. So for lips, since we have so much color going on at the top, I'm gonna do kind of a neutral-ish lip. So I'm actually going to be using a brown lip liner that I just happen to have, and it's actually very old. It might be from like a department store, really, honestly and truly, or a drugstore. So, but it goes on so creamy and smooth, so I've been using it for literally years, and I just sharpen it. And so normally I just line a lip. And then what I like to do when I do my lip liner is add extra liner in the corners. Alright, so there that is. Honestly, makes my lips look, I feel like I look like I have lips like the Queen of Hearts. That's literally what it makes me feel like. And then here I have one of my favorite glosses. It is the Mirabella Color Lux, and it's a lip gloss, and it's in the color Gossamer, and literally love it. I always put it on top of this. It goes on like so nice and smooth. So I normally just put it on in the middle, of course, where there's no color, to add the actual natural color element of the color, and then I'll just kind of slight a little bit on the sides where I put that brown. And there you go. I love the way that that looks. Here's the finished look. Okay, y'all, so I did my edges and I put on my clothes, and this is the finished look. I actually love it, especially with the lip combo. I think it turned out really good, and overall, I always love Juvia's Place palettes. I think they are the bomb. They come super pigmented. The shimmers and the mattes always come super pigmented. They always give you a great quality, not just of eyeshadows, but a great amount of eyeshadow, because in each palette you get at least 9 shadows, and from those shadows they're very big pans, and they come super pigmented. They're so easy to blend, as you can see. We really got those blends to really work out, regardless of whether you put a lot or a little bit on it, on your brush. And overall, I just love this palette. I've been super excited to get this palette just because of all the wild colors. And thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button if you like the tutorial or want to see more tutorials from me. Please leave comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe, because I will have many more makeup videos and tutorials coming up soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.